Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now this is a general reading for those born under the sign of the Tiger for June 2020 or whenever you led to it. Now these Chinese Zodiac readings are a new one for me. I've been given the spread, I finally worked out how to do it, and hopefully you will like it. Do comment down below. I have already been working on Western and Chinese zodiac combinations. I haven't done any tigers yet. I've done 6 of them so far. But if you want a Pisces tiger, a Cancer tiger, an Aries tiger, then simply comment down below and I will put it on my list. Like I say, I've done 6, 138 to go. Also down below, in the description, you will see all the details about the reading, how to contact me, and a link to a Facebook group where I post all the videos for, for this channel, but also the astrology videos I'm learning from, sometimes other readers, sometimes the odd documentary or two, just for, well, your entertainment, and if you're interested in the astrology side of things, your education. So, and you can learn at the same rate that I'm doing. Now, as a general reading rules apply. So roles can be reversed if another person turns up, because the cards don't come with name tags. So if someone else appears in the reading, I could be talking about them and mean you, and vice versa. Timing is far from absolute with any form of divination, never mind tarot. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. Oh, what I was going to say is on the Facebook group, there's an inbox. So if you want to contact me directly for a personal reading, that's one of the ways to do it. There's also a Twitter down there. So I don't think I've got any more waffle. Oh, your Western Zodiac readings are already out. I might leave a link in the description if I remember for the playlist, so you can find your signs. Remember, watch your sun, moon and rising. At least sun and rising. At least. Yeah, nope, that's it. Brain's gone blank. So let's bring up the cards. Now then, there's quite a lot going on here, Tiger. Now I've used, well, I call them my massive tarot because I've got no idea what the deck's called. I've got the Tarot of the New Vision, which are done from behind, as you can see, from behind the Rider-Waite, the other point of view, and the in-between tarot, which is basically where it says 10 of Wands here. It's the stage in between the 10 and the Ace, or the King between the King and the Page, which they're saying that each cycle of court cards and each cycle of minor are cycles unto themselves. We have a verse from the Tao Te Ching, we've got the I Ching, and various oracle cards. So this is looking altogether quite positive. We're starting with the Emperor, so we're starting with you trying to build something and define your own empire. I mean, it could be that you're sticking to your guns because somebody's got on your bad side, because this is coming from a sense of being on guard, being defensive, and being wounded. So it's quite possible that you are recovering from some form of wound, whether that's physical, mental, emotional, you know, philosophical even. You know, so someone's poked a hole in your worldview and you don't like it. So taking into account the hole that they've poked, you are trying to rebuild and build your own foundation, because there is approaching some form of confrontation or crisis. You can see in the very background there's a bear slowly coming towards our wounded warrior here. You know, as if he hasn't been through enough. But since this is defining the Emperor, it's the Emperor card that is the stronger for me. So it really feels like you're building, and you've got a lot of creative energy here. A lot of creative energy to try and build and create and define your own space where, well, basically you're in charge. You know, and I'm not saying that you're bossing other people around. It's just, it's your space, therefore you're in charge. Now this is causing you to, I almost think that this creative process here is not part of the you building your empire, building your area. But as a result of, and you're suddenly gone, well, I've gone this far and now I can do this. And there's a wonderful surge of creative energy, of surging forward, of a wonderful surge of clarity, of an idea that you need to nurture. Maybe there's a few things you're deciding to cut out in order to dedicate yourself to this idea, but this will be an inspiration to those around you, because whatever this wound is, your pain and stress from it is going to be recognized. It's going to be recognized, and your intuition will lead you how to work forward with this, how to move forward. And it's interesting that we have the mending bridges, because I think you're maybe going through what has been not a more painful period of your life, but a slightly painful period of your life, and you're trying to rebuild, and you are stressing to a certain extent as to, am I rebuilding this correctly? But you are. That's one thing with the Three of Pentacles. We've got the forward motion of the three with the groundedness, the earth element of the Pentacles, but there's also that element of recognition and skill. And I feel like going from the Three of the Pentacles here to the Eight, that skill is definitely going to be recognized and called on, but it's going to come obvious, as I felt like this creative process is based on you building your new environment, your new empire, and it's something that has sprung from that. Here it's almost like I'm getting the feeling of specialization, but you are bringing two forces together, maybe two people together, maybe you and another person. We've got a Six of Cups on the bottom of the deck, so that if you're looking for the love reading, there's always the chance that it's a past lover that you're going to sort things out with. The one that got away will come back. But there's transformation on offer through this whole process, but it's going to require balance, because you're trying to define your own empire and build your own empire, build that space where you are in charge. But you are having to balance commitments, that you need to make sure that if you have any commitments, you are not ignoring them. Because there's a winding path here towards fulfilling commitments, but you have got the forward motion on it. But there is the balancing of opposites on all of these cards, because the Empress to the Emperor, the actual definition in the book is balancing of opposites. We have the Lovers card twice here with the Hierophant, so you've got to make sure that you are staying true to yourself, but also notice on this Hierophant there's twin pillars behind him yet again, and again two people coming to meet together. So I mean, some people will call that a marriage card, but I'm seeing that you're definitely unifying two things through some form of agreement, clarifying some rules. One person here is carrying a dove, the other person is carrying a snake. So we've got peace and wisdom with two creatures that are sort of enemies, because snakes really just eat birds if they get chance, don't they? But also in Christian mythology, then the snake is seen as the enemy. But we've got the snake and the dove being presented to one another, and I really do feel like it's in a way of peace. And let's face it, you've got all the marriage and relationship cards here, I'll be quite honest. You've got the Lovers, the Four of Wands, the Lovers, the Hierophant, so, and Four of Wands is hinted at on this card as well. So but there's a personal transformation that you have to go through first before you can bring these two things together, because they will make sense, they will work together. But at the moment, I feel like you're still trying to balance the two of them as per the Two of Pentacles here. But there has to be a commitment, even though, yes, you're inspiring somebody else. And it's almost like the angels are leading you along here. Now the Ace to the Two, let me see what I remember that means, because that to me is striking a victory. Here it says forging ahead with bravery, but you are forging ahead onto this long path towards the Four of Wands, because this is actually the Three of Wands card, 3 to the 4. But there is a sign that through hard work on your side, the conflict ceases. You have got to survey the destruction, but that's fine, because that conflict has already been there. I think that's where you got wounded in the first place, and you are reacting to that. You know, wounded could mean losing a job, having your worldview shaken, yes, a wound, or an emotional wound of some form, you know, so a financial wound of some form. Because another way of looking at these cards would be, if you're thinking of starting your own business, it's going to go well. It's going to go well, it's going to take time, and you're going to have to learn to work with somebody who on first glance, they've either been an enemy or you don't get on with them, whatever. But that's why I think there's the mending bridges. So you're working with somebody that you know rather than not. But this is going to be successful. But what is interesting, you know, it's what you wanted, this magic pet prayer. It's something that you need to focus on. We've got the Five of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, so there's that sense of poverty and lack, which is what's inspiring you building. As I said, it's on the reaction of the wound. But with this happy success card underneath, it sneaked in. I didn't even see it until they stopped sticking together, and I moved it. It's like, oh, there's another card under here. Deception. So is there an element of you refusing to see something? And Two of Swords reversed. Sorry, I should have put it the other way. And yeah, you just refusing to see something and deceiving yourself. That's what I was trying to say. Or is there some deception that has been around? But if there is deception, it will be overlaid by the fact that things are going to go well with this happy success. It might, what started the happy success might be based on deception, but if someone has deceived you and that's what the wound is, they've actually done you a favour, because I feel like the wound would be the revelation of the deception, or you're going to find out what the deception was and find out that the wound wasn't anywhere near as serious as what you thought, even though obviously you've had to go through all the emotions of it. Now, the I Ching, it's lake above mountain. So the mountain is strong and stable, but can be hard and harsh. The lake is a softer force than the mountain, but gains strength from it. Stillness and gentle movement attract and complement each other, their influence enhancing the best in both. This is the best path of wooing, to improve each other through mutual attraction. So whoever it is that you are working with, slowly, gently, and give them something to be attracted to. And what I mean by that is, whatever this idea that springs out of you defining your own territory, it's almost like, right, now I know I'm safe, now I've built my little empire, what do I do now? I know what I'll do now. I'm going to do this, whatever it is, new attitude, new business, new something. But it involves doing, it involves skill, and it involves repetition. So a new attitude may well be what it can do, because you might start saying, no, I'm going to do what I can to feel confident. I'm going to do what I can to be fit. I'm going to do what I can to be successful. I'm going to knuckle down on my course. I'm going to, whatever it is. But that is what provides the attraction to bring these things together. So it's really interesting that this Queen of Swords with the Two of Swords is telling me that there's something, as you become more creative along this line, it's a lot of work, but there's something that you need to cut out to do it, which would very much indicate going on for a new attitude, you know. So it's time to get your positive affirmations out. In fact, I have a positive affirmation deck. So let's just see what it throws up for us. That was quite quick. So we have, I am always tuned in to the divine wisdom. And the second one, anytime I choose, I can create my dreams. So I'm always tuned into the divine wisdom. Well, the High Priestess here does speak to listening to your intuition and being led along by the happy coincidences that come along. And this is a lot nicer than I think what Rat and Ox had to deal with. I've lost the other card now. So the final thing, and this is why I'm saying about subtlety, it's not that you're going to approach this other person, even though their assistance will be helpful in what you're doing. It's that you're going to do so well at what you're doing that this other person will go, you know what, you'd benefit from my help, and because this is a good thing. Verse number 4 of the Tao Te Ching, the hidden presence. The Tao is based on harmony between emptiness and abundance. It is the deep source of the myriad creatures. It softens their sharpness. It releases their confusion. It lessens their luster, and it merges with their dust. The Tao is so clear and so transparent that it is nearly invisible, nearly formless. No one can know its origin, for it came before all of creation. Ooh, now that throws a twist on that deception card, doesn't it? Because I want you to do this thing, whatever it is, for you. Simple as that. Because it's something that you're going to be good at. It's something that you're going to succeed at. But there is space for you to do it as according to an agenda, and not just for the sake of it, to draw this something into you. And this may well be where the deception is, because that might be something you want to keep to yourself. And the least said about that, the better. So it's really positive towards the end here. But remember, it is a long winding road, but the conflict is ceasing. And your pain will be recognized. And the thing is that I feel that your pain that occurred is partly what the inspiration is for this new thing, which also means that you probably have resolved that pain some way, because there is a transformation in this process of balancing before you manage to bring all these disparate elements together as one. Okay, so if that means anything to you, Tiger, comment down below. Your next readings out will be your full moon reading, and then your lunar galactic download the day after, because day after the full moon it conjuncts with galactic center, which of course is, you know, still under the power of the full moon, so that will be a doozy, because it's also conjuncting with a thing called the Great Attractor, which is dragging galaxies, including our own, after it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing those readings, I can tell you. Right, so comment down below. Please press subscribe while you're passing, and I will see you for the full moon, no doubt. Cheers.